Mount & Blade Warband during its time not only became popular as the native and the modifications within it, but it also became popular outside the core game itself. You see, there was a time when Tailworlds would sell off their engine that they had made for Warband to other game developers and said, hey, look, do what you want with this. Of course, the results were varying, but it meant that we got some standalone games that were, in some cases, paid, that had a little bit more, a little bit extra to them, that couldn't really be done within modifications in Warband, that needed that extra push and that extra ability to delve into that engine itself. And one of these was Blood and Gold Caribbean. It took you into the Caribbean as a pirate or a piratess, searching the seven seas for gold, plunder, recruits, and some X-rated fun. The game itself was pretty popular within the Mount & Blade community, but it never really made its way out of it. It added some awesome new things like ship warfare, boarding enemies, and of course using your cannons on deck. Being able to go into towns, docking, and then going onto land and play as you would in normal Mount & Blade. Finding bandits and of course factions to take over and destroy. Having your own port cities. Setting up banks and markets to grow your wealth and thus grow your fleet of many, many ships. You were also able to buy plantations and run them, but that's probably frowned upon these days. But being a 7-year-old game now, Snowbird Studios haven't done all that much lately. But you know one thing that is great in this title? The goddamn music. Hell yes. Whoa, I've not seen this before. Well, here we are in the Caribbean. We are just near the Cristobal Plantation. Resonancy has their war brigandine and they are going to be fighting and sailing the seven seas. Now, who do we have in our party at the moment? Oh my god, the lag. What is going on here? This game is too much for a 3090. Right, so it's a little bit different to what we experienced in Bannerlord. At first, it will take you into, well, your ship. Here you can see the hull health, the sails, the crew, cargo hold, all that sort of stuff. All this stuff can be upgraded. If we look at a cargo hold, we can see what we have in our inventory of the ship. However, you also have what you'd expect from a normal Mount & Blade game, or the people you have in your party. These will be the people that are on your ship with you, but they will also fight with you when you do boarding parties, or when you land on the shore, they'll be the people that come with you. It is so similar to Warband you wouldn't believe. But let's have a look at the larger map. In terms of size, I'd say it's pretty similar to Warband. However, most of the center, as you'd expect, is water. So you're going to be doing a lot of sailing around. And there are, because of it, a few areas where there's not really all that much going on. Right, let's head to a few ports here, see what we can do here. Okay, we have smugglers. Now, smugglers are the equivalent to looters. They are people that you can attack and get some decent gear off and, of course, get some XP up. If we go into them, we can engage them, shoot 2 ships versus 1 ship. There's a light breeze flowing from the west, which means that we have to pay attention to that. Now, I think what we're going to want to do here is get into melee combat, try and board the enemy ship. I think that's probably going to be our best bet. What? Now, the land stuff is almost identical to anything that you'd expect from Mount & Blade Warband. We can, of course, go, we can enter the facility, and have a little bit of a look around. And this is what I want to show you, because, my god, is it awesome how they've done complete custom maps for it. I mean, you'd expect because it's a standalone game, but the prisoners. All right, lad. Whoa, he's getting a bit frisky. But you can buy goods from the plantation, and of course you can sell stuff from them as well. Well, Resonancy is back, and we're going to show you what it actually looks like when you enter a port. These serve as hubs for trading and commerce. You can click on various buildings to access all their features. For example, things like the fort, we can click on it, we can enter it, and, you know, we can see everything that goes around there. However, if we really want to get into it, we can go walk around the streets and you can have that Mount & Blade-like experience where you can access everything from the menus, much like Warband and Bannerlord, but you can also walk around. And they are fully modeled and they look kind of gorgeous, actually. If we take a look at the message board, this is where you're going to find a lot of jobs and things like that to do. I wish the tips would get out of the way, though. This is really annoying. A shipwright in need. They want supplies and material. Oh my god, they've spelt it. Well, that's a good sign. So if we deliver them 20 units of iron to this port, I'll be rewarded with 2,700. Not only this, but eventually you can actually start to build stuff in towns. You can get jobs in certain places. Why are you a suspicious man? Excuse me, sir. Can I help you? So from this suspicious man, we can actually commandeer an unlawfully seized vessel. We're not going to get on the wrong side of the Navy just yet, however. Wait a second. We very similar. Hello. What the hell is this? Must be the adult content. What do you want, miss? If you're ever looking for a job on your back, I'm not hiring at the moment. Stables for these nice girls would be ashamed if something was to happen to them. This surely. What the hell is? Oh my. What the? What the? I mean, I'm gonna have to blur this out. What the? I gained 1 renown and 10 experience points. I actually had no idea that was in this game. Well, I'm sure that's got a lot of you dodgy wrong-uns buying the game now. Jesus Christ. Let's get out of here. Right, we have now docked our ship at Tampa Bay here, so we can go inland. So this means we can go and, of course, explore everything that you can get on the less wet areas of the map. Right, we can put some of our cash in the bank there. This tutorial screen, oh my god, it just fills everything. It's really annoying. But we've got some cash in the bank, which is what we need to actually pay our people. Now, this ship right here is where we can look at our ships. Now, these can all be renamed and things, but we can also upgrade or repair or even purchase completely new ships. We can even train more sailors as well. Now, unfortunately, I don't think we can hire anymore since we can't actually fit anyone else on this ship. However, if we go into the buy ships, we can have a look at some of the cool stuff they have. We've got a good amount of money. So, interesting. We could buy another ship. So now we have 2 small schooners, but we don't really have the crew for that just yet. So now if we go into the shipwright and we select our new ship, we can buy ammo for it. Beautiful. We can also hire a lot of crew for it and train more crew up. Beautiful. It's looking good. It's looking good. Let's add that upgrade as well. Well, as the game is lagging to hell, as you can see, ship battles, well, they look interesting. I've had to turn some shaders off here. I'm going to try and put them back on, but my god, this game is very badly optimized. Jesus Christ. It never used to be this bad. It must just because it's getting a bit old now. See, that looks better, but it's almost unrunnable. We've got our 2 ships here, however. They look great. The land battles themselves are also pretty cool, but they're very similar to Mount and Blade Warband. You run across a party, depending whether it's marauders, looters, smugglers, whatever, but you have this more deployment screen. It's not all that useful if I'm going to be completely honest, because F1, F3 is all you'll ever need in Mount and Blade, am I right? But, of course, you have musketmen and things that are appropriate to the time, with gunpowder, even cannons to some extent. But the thing is, like, it's great, right? Land battles are fun, but they are just Mount and Blade. It does definitely feel more like a mod rather than a full paid game, especially now that it's not exactly well optimized for modern hardware, and as you saw, it was almost impossible to play ship battles. It's an absolute disaster. And there's a lot to be said for that line between whether it's worth it as a new and completely entirely different game that you have to buy separately, or whether it's just a good mod, because it is very good and there are some fantastic new mechanics within it. I mean, fighting on the seas is a lot of fun. It is completely different and an experience that we haven't had in Mount and Blade. Even the mods for Warband never really accomplished anything to this level. The bits flying off ships as your cannonballs cascade into their hulls, being able to change between grape shot or chain shot or even just all-out cannon shot to batter down their enemy's health before you eventually sink them or you go in for boarding parties. And boarding parties really run just like any other Mount and Blade land battle, but, well, they're on ships. You're able to use the bar at the bottom to choose which side you want to fire cannons out. You can press space bar and it will fire pretty much all the cannons that you've selected. You can be a bit more micromanagey that way. You can also move between ships and give them orders in the left there as well, if you have multiple in your fleet. Being able to drop anchor, selecting the target to engage, putting down mines even, or if you want to go all out, you can set your ship on fire and charge it at the enemy. Yeah, that is a feature. It's an interesting one. But let's get on to some of the boarding, because I think that's one of the coolest parts of this. Moving up alongside the enemy, you'll have the chance to attempt a boarding. Now, it won't go right all the time. A red bar will come up, and if they manage to get out of that zone before it fully fills, you won't be able to get the boarding action ready. But once you're in there, it loads up as a regular land battle, but between two ships. You're able to swing across the ships, which looks goddamn awesome. You're able to also climb the rigging, get up on top, shoot down from above as well. You can see the guys going up there doing their thing, and you're also able to do a similar thing. In this one battle, it was pretty close, but you can see everyone climbing up the rigging, getting into positions, and I end up doing a similar thing later on just to try and get the last few at the top, because enemies will hide up there, especially if they're musket guys. The ones with just swords or spears will be down on the ground and fight you that way. Yeah, do be careful if you climb the rigging, because, well, you can fall to your death. One cool thing as well with the implementation of musketry and gunpowder is the ability to actually hit more than one enemy at once. You can see here I take a pistol shot and I'm able to kill 2 guys in one shot just because of the shrapnel that comes out of this beautiful blunderbuss style pistol, with the multiple bullets giving that shotgun style effect. So, is Blood and Gold Caribbean a decent game? Yeah, I would say it is, but it is based off the Mount and Blade engine, and that's what they're using in order to create this experience. Because of that, it's a lot of fun, especially if you do enjoy Mount and Blade. They've added a cool few new things like the deployment screens, ship battles, and of course the whole town center experience as well. Upgrading ships, finding crewmen, message boards, that kind of stuff. I would say back in the day it probably was worth it, because it wasn't all that expensive, and I think it does add enough to warrant itself being a separate game rather than just a cool and in-depth mod. However, now I'd say it's very hit and miss. It's no longer being developed, and as you can see, it runs terribly on newer systems. It ran absolutely fine on my laptop back in the day, but now on a 3090 it just stutters and it's pretty much unplayable. But there's still a lot of fun here and a lot of things to experience, but I don't know if this game is going to last all that much longer. I think it's pretty much died in terms of player base at the moment, but it was a cool experiment, and maybe we'll see some more things like that in the future. Tailworld started auctioning off their engine in order to be able to use for things like this. There was also one that was set in China as well. Maybe Bannerlord would do the same thing. I think it's probably a bit too complex, and it's a full custom proprietary engine with the sequel to Warband. However, it would be interesting to see what modders can do nonetheless. Because this has been Blood and Gold Caribbean. Turning Mount and Blade 2 into, well, an RTS. Building from the ground up with a lord, a town, building villages and of course lumberjack yards, growing resources and building an army to finally attack the enemy, in this case AI base. Let's delve a little bit deeper into this though. First on the cards, you must pick your starting lord. Let's play as King.